At College of Dupage, we have an animation associate degree. It's an associate of applied arts degree, and it's a 2-year program, which takes you through the animation curriculum and some gen ed. And we are proposing a certificate, which it's not in effect yet, but it probably will be within the next year. The difference between an AAS degree, or Associate of Applied Arts degree, and a certificate is the fact that a certificate doesn't include general education. I had one student with a PhD that was starting to go through animation. Obviously, he doesn't need to worry about the gen ed area, so that would also be a good reason to not take the Associate of Applied Arts approach and just go for a certificate. In our animation program, students learn a number of different techniques, from traditional animation to computer graphics to special effects. We teach human animation, what we call pixelation, where you're actually animating people. Clay animation, where we create objects out of clay, build sets, and then animate the clay characters, tell a story based on those. We do drawn animation, traditional animation, and those are the basic classes. And then once you're done with that class, you can start the computer-based animation. 3D animation is one of the classes we teach as well, and you will learn basic concepts of creating 3D models, characters, building sets in a 3D environment, and animating lighting and animating those. We also do a special effects class where you learn different types of motion graphics and special effects. In fact, that's the name of the class, Motion Graphics and Special Effects.
Students should be confident enough once they get out of our program to be able to draw any character, to animate him, and to use most any software that's available out there right now. I myself have been a humorous illustrator for 17 odd years. I've done everything from t-shirts to books to greeting cards. I've done limited animation. I've done a number of character designs and model sheets. The point of storyboarding is to actually work out all the technical problems that you may run into, plus be able to tell your story and get the timing down.
I get asked a lot, can you make a living in animation? And I have to answer, it's completely up to the student. And if you want to and you're willing to pay the price, which is a lot of training, a lot of self-discipline, a lot of going after jobs when you're asking yourself, why, after I've gotten turned down from 25 interviews, should I take any more? And you just say, no, I'm going to keep focused on this. I'm going to be an animator. Animation is something that is pretty versatile, and if a person is versatile, they're going to do better. And it depends on the company. If you work at a big place and if you look at the credits on a major animated feature, they'll have 200 people that did lighting on a CG film, like a Toy Story or something like that. They specialize in setting computer lights. There's people that specialize in building models, but there's other operations that want to have people be able to do those things plus other things. My company in particular, we would take anything we could get. And I went after kind of odd jobs, the kind that people didn't want to do because they were too hard or it wasn't standard work. And we did a lot of different things where we would kind of invent stuff as we went. And it made it a lot more interesting for me, and it was pretty intriguing. College of Dupage has had a formal animation degree since 2007, so it's only 2 years old. And at this point, we're just getting our first graduates through. Bob Blevins was actually the first to make it. He graduated last summer. I'm going to be signing graduation papers for probably 4 or 5 more students this year. It seems like we're getting a good momentum going. Our classes are filling. There's an enthusiasm for the class. I've been almost having to turn down students, which I hate to do, but we've been getting a lot of people wanting to go through the program. So as it's growing, and I'm really working hard to let people know that we exist and to make sure that the classes are run to the proper standards. And it's something I love. I've always loved animation, and this has been a riot teaching it. I want to keep this going. And I have a personal goal, which I have written down, and I keep it in a drawer of mine about animation. When it comes to pass, I will publicly announce it.